Yes, they granted civil rights or independence. But freedom without land is prison without walls. Independence without control is a flag without authority. In America, they gave you rights, then built prisons to contain you. In Africa, they gave us flags, then built banks to control us. They kept you captive with bars. They kept us captive with debt. Same master, different chains. The Africa they hid from you. They did not want you to remember that Africa had empires before Europe had nations. They did not want you to see a continent that gave birth to mathematics, metallurgy, medicine, long before they called us primitive. So they showed you famine, not fertility. They showed you war, not wisdom. They showed you huts, not history. And you were taught to return as tourists, not as heirs. Why I speak to you now, I am not calling you back to Africa to live here. I am calling you back to Africa to belong here. Not everyone must return in person. Some will return in investment, some in skill, some in voice, but all of you must return in loyalty, because a people scattered can be hunted. A people connected cannot be conquered. You were taken by force. We were kept by force. And now we must rise by choice. To my brothers and sisters in America, the Caribbean, Brazil, Europe, I speak to you with truth, not comfort. You were not freed. You were forgotten. They did not liberate you. They abandoned you with new chains. Chains of poverty, chains of policing, chains of identity loss. They ended slavery only to begin a new science, the science of silence. They freed your body, but kept your history. They erased your language. They renamed your ancestors. They reduced your kings to tribes, your queens to myths, your empires to villages. They allowed you to vote but not to own. They allowed you to speak but not to remember. And every time you rose, they built something new. Laws, prisons, chemicals, campaigns. But still, you rise. They kept us apart on purpose. When African nations gained independence, they did not invite you home. They feared what would happen if the survivors of plantation pain joined those who survived colonial rule. Imagine Harlem's strategy with Sahel conviction, King's dream with Sankara's discipline, Malcolm's fire with Nkrumah's blueprint. That was their nightmare and must become our mission. Your identity was not lost. It was stolen. Do not let anyone tell you you have no roots. Your roots are not beneath you, they are behind you, and we are here, holding them, waiting. Return, not to geography, but to genealogy. You are not African because you were born in Africa. You are African because Africa was born in you. Why I call you now, I do not ask you to leave America. I do not ask you to abandon Brazil, Jamaica, Haiti. I ask you to remember who you are, so that when the world tries to define you, you can redefine yourself. We do not need your applause. We need your alignment. Stand with us, speak with us, invest with us, fight with us, not with weapons, but with will. A promise from Africa. I cannot promise you comfort, but I promise you connection.